welcome to Stone and Sober, and I'm really, really drunk.
I think they could gather that. Anyway, let's forget the title for now. Let's just get into it. Might as well talk about what we're attempting to do and how this is affording us a distraction from it, seeing as how we can't get anywhere with it. So,
I blame me.
I blame you too. Anyway, so let's just say what we're doing, what we're attempting to do.
Okay, so we're creating an entertainment company that is producing content that is related to our work.
That's a little far ahead. Right now, we're still trying to make any form of content. That's why we're using this. Right now, it's the show. Let's talk about the show. We'll keep it strictly to the show for now.
So for this context, we are talking about the show that we're currently doing, which is Bud Drawn, which is going to amalgamate to everything else that we're going to be doing.
We'll talk about in more detail later, but I guess this whole thing, this animated show that he started a few years ago, right, in college?
Technically in grade 12 when the character was developed, but the idea of creating something animated would be in Mr. Borden's grade 12 class, which then...
I thought you didn't start animating until college, though.
No, the first episode of Bud Ron was in the summer before college.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the actual...
No, the one where they're smoking in the car and then hit the police thing, or him just skateboarding, that was while working at Wendy's in the summer waiting for college.
Okay. Yeah, so basically, he's drawn most of these characters. He's come up with the concepts, the base designs of them. And it wasn't until, I think 2 years ago now, that I got suckered into doing the script.
No, technically it would be 1 month that I came in college back, because I still have the script where he wanted, the one joke was how many ales you can fit on a bar stool.
Won't go into that. No, but the first concept script for anything came about, I think, a year and a half ago or so.
No, it's technically that script because you were adding to that script.
No, but I'm talking about that comic-like script I did.
Yeah, the whole idea...
Like the first real script.
Well, the whole idea of it being redone was about now going on 2... technically...
Year and a half, we'll just say safe.
Well, after all that, let's just say a year, because technically that's when we've been working on the walking scene, as I like to call it.
Well, let's just, you know what, we've been rambling on about the script and shit like that. Let's get to, like, what this show is about, because so far it's like we've given them nothing.
Well, what it's...
We'll start with, like, the origins of what it was supposed to be.
Well, so what it originally was supposed to be was about a dude on a different planet that's surrounded by other people that look like him, that worship heavy metal music, and he is the rebellious person of them all. So even someone that's already...
So then he basically listens to Beethoven and reads freaking Einstein books.
Nah, it's just more like...
Because if everyone is like rock and roll and into drugs and shit like that, and he's the rebellious one, he's doing the opposite.
Let's just say he's doing more of it, and it's disrupting everyone's time.
Right. Anyway, so yeah, it was basically just drug-addled nonsense, at least to my perspective.
That wasn't until the script that you actually saw. Like, what I just originally said was the short story that Bird told me to write when I was creating the character.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, the show's evolved from just basically a John Lennon acid trip to
taking a ride by Hunter S. Thompson
was basically it. That was all he had, a Hunter S. Thompson scene. But yeah, it's gone from that to a location that actually has a name.
Well, it's always had the name, because that was the name of the city is the title of the short story.
Oh, okay, Mad World.
Yeah, but because that Sega game was coming out, I was more worried about it then than I was now, because no one remembers that Sega game.
Anyway, the two characters that mainly are the focus of it are Bud and Kron. I know, their names are so subtle.
Okay, yeah, but you gotta get why is he called Bud, and the reason why he's called Bud is because of you.
Well, yeah, but I do not remember this. You remember it better than me, and I don't know why.
Because it was on Earth Day, actually. It was that day where I told you to put up the middle finger so I could draw him actually flipping off the world in a sense, because I kept saying, "Oh, this is stud."
Because you were sexually attracted to it.
No, it was because I didn't want to. I didn't want to call him Buddy, which is what I originally thought to call him. So then I called him Stud because that way it would not be a name associated to what it was inspired by. You just said, why don't you just call him Bud? Because, again...
Weed and bud.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, real subtle. Kron's even more subtle.
Well, Kron was different because Kron, it took several years to get his natural name. I actually got it from...
Well, obviously, you started that character when you were, what, like 7?
Well, grade 4 to be... Grade 4, grade 5 to be Pacific.
Yeah, you weren't smoking pot then.
No.
At least I hope you weren't. Although
No.
that would explain a lot.
So it'd be more of a sense of an alter ego, but he didn't have a name and didn't want to name him off for me and all this other crap. So in game development, when I was creating concept for art class of just creating a game title and with the character and stuff like that, Bud, who when he at the time would smoke his hair, he would get Super Saiyan like strength and...
You see, this is why you needed someone to write.
Well, anyways, like the game was called Chronic, and then like I accidentally spelled chronic wrong.
Because you were on Chronic.
So when I covered it up the half the title, the word Kron stuck out.
In case you hadn't noticed, my friend here is permafried.
I still blame you.
How do you blame me for you smoking weed?
Because you told me to go do a dazer on a brick. Well, that wasn't made up because at one point I was downloading games to get money from you so I can go get stuff.
Oh.
So again, thanks a lot, dude.
Okay, well that explains something. The fact that I gave you money empowered you.
Yeah, because my dad...
I had no idea my money was going to that then.
Yeah, you did. You were like, here, you can go buy your stuff.
Oh.
Why is it that
Again,
I remember it?
I don't know.
Like, I'm the one that's supposed to be brain dead.
You are brain dead. Just you have like a better memory of pointless shit. Anyway, so that's one of the, or two of the characters technically. Then there's another one that we want to have in the background as, like, technically, I don't know, is he the antagonist? Not really. He's just another character. It's the clown.
So the clown is a very long story in a sense because in anything that I've done, I've kind of done like a clown, kind of like Dr. Wily type of character.
Almost looks like the Violator.
Well, now it does.
Okay.
But after actually grade 11, when we were talking about cult conspiracies and... Why am I forgetting the dude's teacher?
The dude's teacher?
Yeah, the grade 11 teacher.
You mean Spires?
No, English.
Oh, crap, I don't remember either.
Okay, the dude in English class in grade 11.
Mr. Teacher.
Mr. Small Teacher.
Oh, it's not Whitterick or Cedric or...
I don't know, dude. The dude was an awesome teacher. That's all I can remember. Because, like, it's the only English class that I got a 70 in.
Way to raise the bar, Jordan. 70. Well, I was getting mid-90s.
Yeah, but I was getting 50s in essential class.
That's because you're retarded. It goes back to our brain dead conversation.
Yeah, but I was getting A's in essential class in math.
Well, then again, yeah.
I was getting A's in college and didn't even attend the class.
The clarity of which you speak isn't the best, so I can see how you'd be failing in English.
And that's also a reason why you're the writer.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's why he needs the writer. And for the record, I cannot draw worth a damn.
You can draw. You're Finding Nemo still on Spring Apart.
Yeah, but that's because, like, I had someone else to pretty much do that, and it was drawing Nemo.
Yeah, but that's again, like, that's another reason why we're doing the show, so that we can draw whatever we want, create whatever.
You can draw whatever you want. The problem is that if I write something, I have to be able to ensure that you can draw it.
Well, it's
or feel
still...
like you can draw it at this level. Because if you look at any animation, like say you go to Newgrounds, and you look at like someone's animation and the work they've done, you realize that the stuff they've done like in the past sucks, and it just got progressively better each year.
Yes.
So that's what I mean. Right now, I can't give you too much because you won't be able to do it right now.
Well, right now we already have a lot. Even for the next scene is the more difficult scene because we're looking more into maybe rotoscoping some of the background shots and the way that the car is moving. It's more of a difficult shot that I haven't attempted yet.
Yeah, it's angles for you, right? That is the problem.
Well, it's angles and it's other things. It's you gotta trick the audience of what they're actually seeing.
To be fair, though, like I've seen some of the things that the college teachers said were problematic, and I look at it and I go, okay, I don't notice anything really. So I think for the most part, the average person, when they see your work, they won't notice.
Yeah, but that's the same thing they said about music. When you're playing a note, like, you're going to notice the mistake. An actual musician that has played and studied and knows that whole song to death knows the mistake, but the average goer in the crowd's not going to notice it. Like, it's going to be part of the piece. It's part of the moment, so...
Our artistic style is everything looks stupid.
Well, okay, if we're going to jump into... Because we kind of jumped to characters before animation...
well, characters is part of the animation.
I know, it's the way you laid it out.
No, this is not scripted in the least. No, we have little jot notes to keep us kind of on track. But to be fair, it is part of the animation. And
well, okay, just like in animations in a sense, what we're inspired by, we gotta look at the things that we're inspired by that inspired them. South Park, for example, their animation style was inspired by Terry Gilliam, that was the stop motion animator on Mighty Python. So the crude work of South Park and the way that they can still deliver entertainment value to something that you could go back to and learn something from every day is something that can be inspired by and to create something new, especially with the recent seasons, which have not been up to my personal standards.
But like I said, remember how I mentioned that any artist, any animated artist, they basically, their past work is crap. Like, you look at South Park now, even though it's still that style of animation, it's improved tenfold.
It's improved, but, like,
it looks
I can
better.
pull an episode from season 1, 2, or... like, season 1 and 2, again, is not the peak of South Park.
But I mean the actual animation itself and the quality. It doesn't look like crap.
The quality doesn't, but the story...
I don't mean writing. We're talking about the animation.
Yeah, obviously with animation, just as any time as you jack off, you're gonna get better at jacking off the second time compared to the first.
Great analogy. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, there will be swearing on these. So...
shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, tits, fire, turd, and twat.
Exactly. So if you're offended by crude language, please minimize whatever porn browser you're using and exit.
I fucked your mom and your dad.
Yeah, right now. We don't even have a title for it because we kind of scrapped it when we were yelling. Anyway, the title of this show, which should have been mentioned in the beginning.
Yeah, I yelled in Bud's voice. It's Stoned. All I had to say was sober part.
Which is painfully obvious. And yes, I am straight edge. I don't drink or smoke pot, which is odd why I'm friends with him.
Not really. Especially with all the legalization that's going on currently that's in effect for Canada.
Yeah, but you were smoking long before legalization, my friend.
Yeah, but look at what I have compared to others. Like, I got legitimately something that's for medical patients. I'm not ripping out a bong, getting tired of my lung. Like, I'm smoking something that's legitimately taking the THC off the planet and not having any bad negative effects besides...
Negative? That's 2 negatives is a positive.
Well, I am drinking, sir, so my excuses are already numbed.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about the plot. Seeing as how it went from none to some.
No, the plot for the 3rd episode, I can tell you.
3rd episode? You mean 3rd scene?
No, it was 3rd episode.
Really?
Episode 1 was them getting in a car, getting high, in front of the high school, backing up, trying to go get McDonald's, and crashing into a car station. Or the police officer. The second scene was him skateboarding.
Scene, you just said it.
Whatever.
I knew it.
I got...
Saying episodes indicates they're longer than, like, 30 seconds.
It was longer than 30 seconds. It was a minute.
Scene.
I don't care. Did it within under 24 hours. Like, I legitimately did it under 24 hours, went without sleep, and then went to Wendy's to go work. And I was like, oh, I can do this all summer. So I did the second episode, and I was alright. And then I was still morally depressed and couldn't do anymore.
Anyway, so it went from that to... We've changed it a little bit.
Wait. I still didn't tell what the... Okay, the third episode was about them getting pizza and then a fight breaking out.
Adventure.
But then it changed because the one character is a spoiler warning, so I'm not gonna say it. Happens to be the same character that they're fighting.
You can't spoil anything because there's not even a show.
I don't care. Like, no matter what, if I die, this is still coming out. Cause, like, no joke, like, this one stupid scene is going to happen. I've said it on my computer multiple times. I'll maybe have it in my will or something. Just be like, play this one scene, post it on the internet so it can be inverted into a time capsule forever.
Anyway, so it went from that to them being stuck on a city where we haven't quite decided yet if it's going to be complete drug banishment, right? Or somewhat.
No, it's controlled.
Yeah,
It's controlled by the government, but that way our characters can be the offspring of creating a new market in that...
Yes, so it's painfully obvious Bud and Kron are drug dealers. What a surprise.
Going to be, not...
Going to be, yes, that's true, because we're decided that they're not going to just jump into it. A series of unfortunate events will happen, which they will spiral into it and get caught into circumstances where they cannot leave.
So that is you and us as the viewers. We are going to grow together with these characters that are meeting for the first time.
Well, we've known them for a while.
Well, the idea we've known them for a while, that's why when we are writing them, we'll feel more comfortable with the characters.
And at first, you wanted it to be like they've known each other for years, the two characters, Bud and Kron. But you've introduced something that I think is a great idea, that this is the first time they're actually meeting.
Well, we should explain, I guess, what Bud is. Bud, which we've agreed on, is not a humanoid in a sense.
He's human, but he's been hit with something that friggin' screwed him up a little bit.
Yeah, so basically, I don't know if we've agreed if it's a disease or what contains it or what causes it, but basically, if there's 3 levels in a city of...
Like Midgar from Final Fantasy, if you've ever played that game. If you haven't, you really need to play some games.
Or just that game. If there's 3 levels of the city, obviously the higher
will be like the aristocrats, the politicians, the upper class.
Yeah.
The middle of the city, obviously middle class, and the lowest level of the city will be like the destitute slum area.
So really, it's a mix of Final Fantasy VII and Futurama, to put the best example.
You're getting hopes a little high. Don't make promises we can't keep.
Well, it's not a promise. It's like that's what we plan to do. It's just visually, we don't know how we're going to show that.
Actually, visually, right now, what I'm realizing is it has a very Rick and Morty style to it.
Which is funny because I just finished season 1.
To be fair, never heard of the show when we started doing this.
And I kind of refused to watch it.
He doesn't like their eyes.
It bothers the crap out of me. I'm sorry. Fuck.
Smoke some weed, you'll be fine.
Well, you're not. That's why you brought the alcohol, because I can't fucking afford it.
Yeah, but you bought my tickets.
Yeah, we're seeing Deadpool, by the way. It's going to be an awesome movie. I don't care what you say. The trailers entertain me enough.
You are going to be so overhyped for that it's going to be like a massive disappointment.
We're going to create the next Deadpool where the hype is going to be so high that the disappointment is going to be the biggest low.
I just said that in fewer words.
Well,
yeah, I think you need to...
You're verbally smart. I'm visually retarded.
No. I'm visually retarded because I can't draw. Artistically retarded. You're just retarded.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, yeah, so that's the plan. We want to get these characters into situations where one of them can't escape. Like the personality of Kron, because I keep getting them mixed up. Even to this day, I accidentally say the wrong name.
Well, it's stupid because Bud's is the name of the show.
Yeah, I know.
So it's not the dude where it's my alter ego. It's the dude where you named the character.
Yeah, but we're planning on making Kron the more spontaneous individual who doesn't think, he just acts.
Well, this is what I basically want to keep for Bud. Otherwise, we're going to dissect him compared to the original idea. He needs to fight in certain situations. He needs to kind of have a superpower in a sense.
Yeah, we're going to need to discuss that.
Yeah. Well, because I still want to keep the... I don't know how we're going to keep it. I like the idea when he smoked his hair, he gained superpower, because that's when he gets a pupil in his eye. So if his...
Oh, right, yeah, he doesn't have a pupil. He looks like a skull, by the way.
Yeah, so, his hair would change to, would add a different shade.
Just like a streak of yellow.
Well, not yellow, but,
You said Super Saiyan, which is retarded.
Yeah, but, if his hair is brown, there's going to be a darker shade of brown in his hair.
When you make it like a streak of white,
Well, then he's also... Because, if you think that he's more like Ailes, more skinny and bones...
No one knows who Ailes is, no names.
I didn't give his first name. I just said skin and bones. I'm just saying it in terms of you. If he's all skin and bones, then he's got a good old beefcake.
He's got to get all beefcake.
Well, again, this is probably stuff that's going to get cut out, but, one of the ideas was obviously inspired by Green Lantern, because it was,
Was it? Which one?
There's a character that I created, because, again, at one point, it's supposed to shift to kind of a superhero type of show.
Oh, yeah, but that's, after. We need to worry about the show that's not even started yet, so...
Well, then this is just giving us content to say of ideas that are there that we could use.
We're hoping to build up a massive amount of 2 people. And that 2 people is us.
Well, there was Bong Lantern where he has on his ring a bong.
See, Kevin Smith.
Yeah, but it was before I started listening to him, because that was right when Green Lantern movie, before the hype.
That's scary movie level parody.
Yeah, but this bong...
we can do better.
This is my first bong. This bong is called Green Lantern.
The audience can't see it.
I know, but I'm telling you.
Yes, so in case you haven't noticed, the show, though he started it, it was heavily inspired by drugs. I'm just trying to bring it down to earth a little bit.
Well, the drugs are that we're keeping in as a currency for the characters so they can grow and establish in the environment that they're living in.
Yeah.
That's their source of income.
And probably go into this maybe in the next one, because I don't want to give too much away all at once, because we actually still need to make extra content. So... The thing that I've noticed with certain shows is you need a character who's grounded. You need a character who the audience can relate to. He's not necessarily their favorite, but he's the most human. He's the character everyone could potentially see themselves as. So
we're going to make him the most unhuman looking character.
Pretty much, but still, as long as he still has those traits. As being an observer and even a victim of all of Kron's stupidity, because Kron is the one who's going to get Bud into all this shit.
Yeah, so that's the one thing that we're definitely keeping, that because the characters originally were just basically me being drunk in improv, trying to create things on the spot. So the one element of that works very well, but you need something to contradict it a lot of the time, so that the humor can actually be brought out in the idiocy that is being sprung or spoken of.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You need the crazy character who annoys the human character.
Yeah. So in this case, and another reason too, and I guess we'll use as an inspiration of Mega Man again, is that Mega Man's game is set in 20XX, so it doesn't give you a future.
Okay, yeah.
Of when this does take place. So in this sense, I don't think we're really going to give or say a year that this starts out in.
We might make just some fake year.
because the whole idea is like, especially even with Venture Time, like with Venture Time,
Yes.
there's like a hidden thing where like what the world used to be like.
Like they don't tell you through like exposition. They like throw little hints out there in like simple conversations. They don't say this is what happened. They talk as if it's like part of their culture, and just how they converse is how you get the hints. Or even say like a newspaper or something like that blowing by. If you were to like freeze the frame, maybe we could do that.
Well, because like you even saw the original like animatics where it was doing the Star Wars shot where it's explaining the world and then it goes down to the planet.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
Yeah, if anything, we're gonna do more of a more inspired by a Fear and Loathing shot, because we couldn't really figure out how it should open, because the whole idea is that
I figured it out.
oh, well, like technically we were debating on having an opening card, because the opening card again in animation standpoint is going to be a longer process, because you're using different shots for different.
You know, now think about it. If we have like an opening title sequence, we could use that, and that would bump every video up by 2 minutes.
I know, but
and then we could lie about the actual length when you add 5 minutes worth of credits.
But that's the thing, though, is like the whole idea is we're not doing this per se for money. For example, we're not doing this for like the whole idea is that if someone tells us that we can't do it, we're gonna do it.
It'll take us like 50 years or so, but eventually we'll think about considering doing it.
Well, again, it's the whole process of like. Yes, I can do like a scene even if it looks as crappy within a day.
Yeah, because I mean, let's be fair here. We're just starting.
The whole goal and initiative about this whole thing is so that we can create a production company, so that we're working at jobs where we want to work at and creating content that people do want to be created. So that if anyone in this town had an idea and they wanted to present it, we have the opportunity to push it out through that outlet.
Yeah. And I mean, we do hope to get other people in on this. We have someone that maybe might be lined up to talk with us eventually. I don't know when.
Well, technically it would have been Wednesday, but I didn't tell anyone, but basically I just told you that we're pushing it so that it happens next week. But
okay. Well, like I said, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't matter, because like I said, I have plenty of things lined up that we can talk about in future, I don't know, podcasts. This is what it's called.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a podcast. Again, we're going to be doing this every week. That is the goal.
Yeah, that's the goal, but much like the show. The end result.
Well, yeah, last week was...
we did a test, but I don't think that worked. Just because...
Well, it didn't work in like the... Well, I didn't even like my laughing. Now, granted, I probably did laugh stupidly here.
Well, the problem was it wasn't structured enough. We do need some structure. It needs to be spontaneous. Like, right now, none of this is scripted. We're just rambling. But we do need at least some structure to keep us on track so we get the information out that we need to get out.
And this is just a personal thing that I want to do, because normally, since I tell you about comic books and all the other crap... Like, when we're getting to the point where we actually are focusing on working on the show and we don't want to spoil anything, we're just going to talk about the shit that we look forward to.
I am going to try desperately to stop that from happening and try and keep us focused.
Yeah, but, like, I want to talk about maybe, like, the Deadpool movie when we go see it in IMAX and stuff like that.
So it went from talking about the show that we're trying to create to just talking about shit that other people have created.
Well, no, but that's later down the line. Like, I don't want to be like...
Just hold on for a week.
well, let's just say like a year from now, and we actually have...
A year from now? Oh, you're dreaming.
Let's just put that as a point. Let's say from a year from now...
I'm not writing 52 shows.
Let's say from a year from now... that we actually do have stuff up and running, and that our Patreon's up, and we have supporters, and like we're doing all this stuff.
Getting all of $5 a month.
$5 is better than no bucks.
Yeah, but yeah, that's true.
Again, like the whole point is
we'll split it 90-10.
I don't care about money. Like either way, like I'm drawing this no matter what, so like I don't freaking care.
Animating it, on the other hand.
Well, I guess that's the whole point. Is like we both work at a job that is just a low minimum wage paging job where if
Minimum wage paging job.
You know I'm on my second glass, right?
Did I mention this is why he needs a writer? Anyway, yes, we do work at minimum wage jobs.
Where it's also time consuming because if you're pushing an $80 work wage, you're getting only like 760 plus bucks.
And yet I still have more money than you.
Yeah, but you don't buy like the comics or like the stuff you see around. You just like hold on to it like a smart Ethiopian kid. That's
Smart Ethiopian kid? What the hell was that garble?
I don't know. I was thinking of Starvin Marvin. I was like, who would like give up everything just so they could have all the money that they? It's like that story where like
I would give up everything to have all the money in the world.
See, I'm a spoiled brat. Doesn't matter to me. I just, as long as I can't wait till the day I don't breathe. That's all I care about.
Okay, we better stop this. My friend is getting fucking sloshed.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna call it wraps on this. This has been StonedSober. I'm Jason.
I'm Rose, and I'm so rummed out.
Nice outro, idiot.
I don't know what to say. Gooble gobble, gooble gobble, pudding pop, pudding pop.
Do you know how many women are gonna be like banging on the door claiming you raped them?
We're cutting this out. Note to self.